exceptional tourism experiences built on Nepal's rich spiritual, cultural, and natural heritage. Help communicate the unique and powerful stories of the country and its people. Explore unparalleled opportunities to invest in Nepal's tourism sector. Nepal offers stability, heartwarming hospitality, world-class treatment, and exceptional growth potential resting in huge and growing markets in Nepal and its neighbors. The figures speak for themselves. Big global brands trust us. Experts have faith in us. Tap into the opportunity at the most opportune time. Nepal's tourism is open for investment.
So if that video didn't encourage you enough, I'm sure after the session, you would definitely be more encouraged. As a former Goodwill Ambassador of Nepal Tourism Year in the year 2011, I had a first-hand experience working with Nepal Tourism Board and the various stakeholders involved in this industry. And I think with Visit Nepal 2020 right around the corner, this session is even more important, and this session will highlight the policy changes that the government of Nepal has made and the ones that are on its way for attracting more investment when it comes to tourism. I would like now to request our chair of this session, Honorable Mr. Ram Kumar Huyal, Member, National Planning Commission, to kindly join us on stage. I'd also like to request our moderator for this session, Ms. Sangeeta Shrestha, Managing Director, Dwarka's Group of Hotels and Resorts, to kindly join us on stage. She's the moderator of this session. Our presenter for this session on tourism, Mr. Deepak Raj Joshi, CEO, Nepal Tourism Board. I think we can definitely give them all a big round of applause without you really being selfish. I think they all deserve that. I would now like to invite our panelists on stage, Mr. Mike Bolsover, MD and CEO, Silver Heritage Group. Professor Glenn McCartney, Associate Professor in International Integrated Resort Management and Associate Dean of Faculty of Business Administration, University of Macau. I'd also like to invite Mr. Akihiko Hori, General Manager, Headquarters of Managerial Planning World Area Sea Service Company Limited, on stage. With the stage set for tourism and discussions on developing destinations for recreation and pilgrimage, I would now like to hand over this session to the moderator.
Thank you so much. Namaste, and it's my very special pleasure to once again welcome you to this panel on tourism, where we will be discussing developing destination for recreation and pilgrimage, investment opportunities in Nepal. I'm Sangeeta Shrestha, and as some of you may know, I and my family have had a long-standing, almost 50 years, and a deeply felt engagement for tourism in Nepal with our many initiatives, where with 3 generations of family in full-time engagement in tourism and with further investments in tourism in the pipeline. So it is my deepest honor today to be able to conduct this and be the moderator for this panel on tourism, while it's very, very close to my heart and my family's heart, and we believe in tourism in this country, and we know that it is through tourism that we can bring development to the different segments of this society as well as different corners of this country. So I would like to now ask our presenter, Mr. Deepak Joshi, the CEO of NTB, Nepal Tourism Board, to please make his presentation. Thank you. please.
Honorable member of NPC and chair of the session, fellow speakers, moderator, respected secretary, their excellencies, high-ranking government officials, especially invited distinguished speakers, valuable delegates, potential investors, NRNA president, media, and leaders of our travel and tourism industry, namaste. First of all, on behalf of Nepal's tourism industry, I would like to welcome all the foreign delegates to this beautiful land. I think in the world tourism map, the name Nepal itself is a very strong brand. Nepal not only has the world's iconic destinations like Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, Pasupati, the must-go destination for many Hindus, Mount Everest, the tallest point on earth. Rather, more than all these, Nepal offers variety of experiences. Many tourists know Nepal as the most diverse country on earth. In many countries, they look like horizontal countries, but Nepal is a vertical country because our lowest point on earth is 60 meters from sea level and highest is Everest, 8,848 meters. And that is just in between a distance of around 120 kilometers. We can imagine how diverse Nepal is. Whenever we travel across Nepal, we experience new culture, new climate, new landscape, new faces, everything exciting in the distance of 40 to 50 kilometers. Not only we have iconic destinations like Everest, Pashupati, or Lumbini, with 1,000+ peaks and hills, 1,000+ rivers and lakes, thousands of varieties of floras and faunas, thousands of gods and goddesses, nothing less than thousands. Nepal is really an unique experiential lifetime value destination. Only thing now we are waiting for is thousands of FDI projects for the larger benefit for all of us. With tremendous potential, Nepal is a very, very attractive destination for investment too. Many tourists know Nepal as the gateway to Himalaya, and not only the gateway to Himalaya, it is also the gateway for Buddhist circuit. Many tourists know Nepal as the tourism capital of South Asia with many regions. Now, we can talk why Nepal is a very, very attractive destination to invest. We have been talking since morning that Nepal about the location. Yes, be it yesterday, today, or tomorrow. Location, timing, brand value, powerful push, and willingness from the host. Always, these factors are the always topmost factor to turn the business investment into robust return. And right now, Nepal perfectly offers all these components. Let me share the status of Nepal now in brief. Sorry. In 2018, we received 1.2 million of visitors by year and 1.5 Indian visitors by land. We have received sustained growth of 30% plus growth since last 3 years. As per PATA and UNWTO, Nepal is in the top 3 countries list of fastest growing countries in terms of growth in tourist arrivals. Though it is very, very less, but still, tourism sector has received one of the highest share in FDI. In 2017 and 18, out of total 496 projects, 159 were in tourism only. These are some of the examples. Like we have many well-known brands that we have received in recent years in Nepal. For example, Marriott. There is one in operation already and another is going to open 1st of April in 2019. We have Silver Heritage Group. My friend, he is in our panel also. So many very encouraging investments we have been receiving. And so to talk about the very recent developments to support this growth, we are going to upgrade our Tribhuvan International Airport, both in the capacity of management and the physical infrastructure. We are going to complete our Gautam Buddha International Airport by the end of this year. We are going to complete our another airport in Pokhara International Airport in 2 years of time. Many multiple cross-border railway links are being built with China and India, which will directly connect in these two giant markets. Development of Raman circuit and Buddhist circuit are another new segments in this line. Nepal has a very, sorry. I think Nepal has a very mature tourism industry. In 1960s, we had foreign investment like Tiger Turfs, like other things, and very successful investment they made, high in accommodation. Back then, 1972, we had master plan. We have sector-wise acts, policies, rules, and regulations to facilitate, develop, and promote tourism industry. For example, we can see in this slide. We have Nepal Tourism Board to promote the destination and the investment that potential investors they do. We do promote many new activities like ultra, bungee, paragliding, MICE centers, these kind of activities. Nepal Tourism Board is your promotional partner. In incentive also, I think these days, be it visitors, tourists or investors, all are looking for easy to travel destination, like easy to invest destinations. And Nepal is one, and visa is one of the crucial factor. In visa category, we provide visa on arrival for almost all countries. Indian nationals, they do not need a visa to enter Nepal. No tourist visa fee applicable to Chinese visitors. No visa fee applicable to the passport holder of member states of the South Asian, the SAARC countries. Non-tourist visa of 6 months for study, research, survey, and for potential foreign investors. Business visa to foreign investors or their representatives and their family members until the prescribed minimum foreign investment is retained in Nepal. Similarly, we have incentives on tax also. If a company employs 500 plus employments and invests $9 million plus US dollar, gets 100% exemption for 5 years, and then 50% concession for next 3 years. Similarly, 15% tax rebate company listed in the stock exchange board. So these kind of tax incentives also Nepal offers. Similarly, in custom duty, only 1% custom duty applicable for import of standard promotional materials. Rebate of 50% custom duty on the import of any 2 units of luxury coach, microbus, type of transport facilities for rafting, trekking, travel, starred hotels, that kind of categories. Only 5% customs duty applicable on the prescribed goods imported once by the star hotels or resorts. Only 1% custom tax on aircraft, engines, and aircraft spare parts. Nepal government, IBN, has prepared 17 projects in the 5 categories for investment with location, project components, market assessment, development modality, total estimated project cost, project IRR, equity IRR. With all these details, we have prepared 17 very promising projects under these 5 categories, like destination development based on spiritual and heritage sculpture, for high-end luxury tourism project, Janki Heritage Hotel with cultural village project, Tal Talaya tourism project, Dreamland Dhulikhel project, Damoli multipurpose project, film project, Sefoksundo luxury resort, Gautam Buddha International Maternity Hospital, Dhulikhel Medicity project, Gandaki Technical University, Iski Resort in Manang, Dolakha Mountain Academy, and few airports. MICE tourism, we can realize with the accommodation capacity that we have in this hall. So this is one of the most promising and potential investment sector that we are looking for. Sorry. I would like to conclude my presentation saying that this is an amazing destination with tremendous potential waiting to be unleashed. It is not my claim. Despite so many limitations in the past, this destination has been awarded, recognized for many reasons. For 2019 only, Lonely Planet has placed us, the Nepal destination, as top 5 countries to visit. In 2019, TripAdvisor, the largest travel portal on earth, has placed Kathmandu the best 19th city to visit in 2019. ITV and the Green Holidays, they have awarded Bardia National Park as the #1 sustainable destination in Asia Pacific region in 2019 only. The Wanderlust magazine has placed Chiton as the fastest growing wildlife haven on earth. So, yes, this investment summit is organized to request for the very potential investment opportunities, but believe me, connecting Nepal and investing in Nepal is certainly a very good business opportunity for you too. Thank you very much.
So Deepak Joshi, CEO of Nepal Tourism Board. I am honored to be here today to help facilitate the discussion of future opportunities in tourism in Nepal. You have seen a very comprehensive presentation of the product Nepal with all its diversity and amazing assets, making it an unmatchable experience. Nepal has today become a leisure and holiday destination, in addition to being a trekking and a mountaineering favorite. Nepal has also graduated from being only a low-budget destination to a high-end destination, even started achieving, you will be surprised, $2,500 a night to $6,000 a night. So this is surprising, but I'm sure it sounds like music to the ears of the investor for the scope this country has. We have heard about all the policies and the incentives that the government has put in place to make any investments in Nepal feasible, sustainable, and profitable. The already existing upward growth, the positive tendency of the tourist arrivals, and ever-increasing interest in the international market for Nepal as a holiday destination has become something very modern or very much in. It's all because of its unique and unparalleled experience it offers, unique, I think, to any other destination in the world. I come from a travel background, travel agency as well as hospitality, and I have been hearing this very often, that people that come from the tour operating incentive branches of the tourism sector telling me that Nepal is a very unique destination, parallel to none other, because of its assets that we have, the people. We don't have to forget the people of this country with their natural and inherent essence of hospitality and grace. Today, there are many, many travel destinations to travel, and the discerning customer, traveler, has many choices he can make. But the destination Nepal is very unique, and with all the special experiences it offers, definitely Nepal would be the future holiday destination for the international and regional tourists. This is still a virgin country for investment in the tourism sector, waiting to be tapped, harnessed, and to be reaped from. A huge opportunity for high-end international brands to position themselves here. The government's sincere commitment and programs to upgrade the present infrastructure in the country is already added plus, and I'm sure all of you have been present in the morning session, and I think me coming from the tourism sector, I was very optimistic, felt very, very positive, listening to our Prime Minister, our Finance Minister, with what energy, with what determination they put forward the tourism sector to, and we now hope and we believe they will follow it in action as well. So it is very encouraging. For me, I am an old-timer in the tourism industry, so hearing this encourages me, so it should encourage all of you to look at Nepal as an investment place. The governments, we have heard of the different potential of tourism projects that have been suggested for MICE tourism, recreation tourism, education, sport and health, spiritual, religious destination for the development of these projects. We are, of course, all of us aware that Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha, is in Nepal. We have another destination that is absolutely not been explored. We have Janakpur for the Hindu religious pilgrimages. So like that, there are so many projects that have not been touched or harnessed. Even though the whole country, from the highest Himalayas to the flat plains, is diverse tourism experience and products it offers, development and product packaging has been done only in very few areas. The vast potential of natural and cultural assets of this country as an unbeatable, unmatchable experience for tourism still offers tremendous opportunities to early birds, investors, to grab this opportunity for themselves. So I am sure, after hearing our presenter, looking at the video, that we already have you more than halfway deciding to come and invest in Nepal. I would like to now take it further by taking the program further to my panelists here. So we're very fortunate to be able to have a distinguished group of panelists with us today to share their experiences and guide our conversations about the prospects and the challenges in developing tourist destination and products in Nepal. In keeping with the overall objective of the Nepal Investment Summit to share with you its desire to promote and support investment opportunities as part of its continued commitment to rekindle economic development in Nepal, I would like to outline for you how this panel will be organized to encourage our specific focus on developing tourist destinations. First, we will have a semi-formal question and answer discussion by our distinguished panelists, followed by the opportunity for questions from the floor, and it will be our sincerest intention to be finished by the appointed time, which I think has already overrun because of the previous session, so I think 5:30. So I'm going to be the official and also unhappy timekeeper, so I might already beg forgiveness in advance if I'm obliged to ask you to yield to a following speaker. I do so only so that everyone's voice can be fully heard, but equally also fully in hope that the conversation we start here will not end here but carry on over among all of you in many fruitful conversations later. So I am now pleased to be able to see comments based upon their extensive experiences from our notable panelists. I am sure we would benefit from a lengthy instruction from each of them, but I'm respectfully requesting that each of you limit your replies to 2 to 3 minutes so we can engage in a more open dialogue afterwards. So I would like to pose the first question to Mr. Mike Bolsover, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at the Silver Heritage Group, Tiger Palace, a 5-star luxury resort near the Nepal-India border and home to Nepal's largest casino. My first question to you, Mr. Bolsover, is what attracted you to invest in Nepal and what has been your experience so far? Also, can you shed some lights on your future plans?
Thank you, Sangeeta. And thank you everyone for coming today, and a big thanks to the Nepal Investment Board or the Investment Board of Nepal for putting on a fantastic event. I was here in 2017, and I think maybe we were about 80% full in this auditorium. And then from today, I think we've doubled or trebled the amount of people, so it shows a huge amount of interest. It shows that Deepak Ji and other people that have been around the world have generated a lot of interest. The interest that we had essentially coming to Nepal obviously is a geographic location. So being between China and India, a lot of people have spoken about that today. I was privileged to come to Nepal for the first time in 2003 and managed to travel to the Upper Mustang and Everest region and the Far West and Far East. And it was incredible for me really to come to such an amazing country, even at difficult times back in 2003. Witnessing the welcoming nature and the warmth of Nepali people was a great thing, and having been involved in tourism in China and Hong Kong and Vietnam and other places, I certainly put Nepalis at the top of the list in terms of their level of service and care for tourists and the like. As you mentioned too, there's obviously a diverse range of natural beauty, from the obvious in terms of the Himalayas and Everest, but also across to Elam and the tea gardens and all over the country. There's so many incredible things which people need to know about, and hopefully will be part of that knowledge transfer. I think the Honourable Prime Minister this morning led with "Welcome to the land of Buddha" and the land of Everest, and I think unfortunately not everybody knows that or necessarily visits Lumbini. So I think there's a huge amount of investment that's needed in Lumbini. I think a huge amount of marketing and promotions, because unfortunately many of the people that come here for trekking or for high-end tourism, but either don't have the time or the connectivity, whether it's roads or airports, to visit Lumbini and that whole area in the Terai, which is fascinating. And then with respect to us, what attracted us coming here is really to be a first mover. So we're the first integrated resort, which is a mixed-use property which has meetings, conventions, exhibitions, general tourism. We also have a casino, but it's really a holistic concept, so it's not only one of those 5 or 6 things, it's really a blend of all. So to be able to come here and to be first mover, where traditionally in Asia we'd been second or third to the borders of China and Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia. So those were really the principal things that interested us here. In terms of experience, things were obviously improving. We first invested here in 2011. We bought the land in Bhairawa, which is near to Lumbini in the south of the country, in 2014. So going through the experience that we had through the build process outside of importation and otherwise, obviously we had the earthquake in 2015, the fuel crisis, the blockade, and then obviously the constitution, which was great for the country, which came in 2015. So that was a hard year. Outside of that, bringing money into the country at the time was quite difficult, getting central bank approval. But since then, things have really improved. They've just reissued the FITA Act, and then also the Public-Private Partnership Act. So I think the dream that people had and told us about at the time, about a one-stop shop, is actually happening now. Thank you. And outside of that, really, we've had these issues, but the crucial thing is we've been able to overcome them. So the work that we've done, we now have over 1,000 Nepali employees, from legal and accounting through to service and management and otherwise. So I think that the dedication of these staff has enabled us also as investors to come through those hard times, and I think it's representative really of the Nepali psyche really to continue to try again, even when you're knocked over and otherwise. So I think we have our staff and support of the government to thank with respect to getting through those times, and we're now excellently placed for the arrival of the second international airport, which is 10 minutes from our resort. So we're really well placed now. The first 5 years of hard work's been put in. There's a lot more to go, but finally now the infrastructure is catching up, and it's a very, very exciting time for us. Did you ask also about future plans?
I think we'll take that a little bit. Yes, if you can. Right
or
now,
just very briefly. We've invested $52 million in Bhairawa and $8 million outside, and part of that total $60 million is actually acquiring land in Japa, which of course is the home district of our Prime Minister and also the Finance Minister. So that really is something that will come on perhaps in a year or two from now when we open that, and we also have some plans within our existing property to add more hotel rooms.
Thank you very much, Mike. For the listeners and the participants today, you do see that they did have a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, but it has been a successful and I think an endeavor that they do not regret but feel they want to do more. I'd like to take my next question to Mr. Akihito Hori, Executive Officer and General Manager of the Headquarters of the Managerial Planning of WASP, World Air Services Company Limited. So to you, Mr. Hori, Nepal is celebrating Visit 2020, and one of the prime objectives is to attract high-end tourists and create activities to prolong their stay. Since you've been involved in the business of tour operations, in your view, what role the tour operators can play to help Nepal attract high-end tourists and prolong the number of days spent in Nepal?
Yep. As I'm working in a thank you. Japanese travel agent. So let me focus, thank you, my comment on Japanese tourists to Nepal. Actually, from 1994 to 2007, there was a direct flight from Japan to Nepal, but it ceased to operate. And during that period, the numbers of tourists to Nepal from Japan has rapidly decreased. In 2001, I just remember, 1999, it was at peak with a number of 41,000 per year. But now it's 28, just less than 28,000, which is almost identical to the figure of 93. During that period, the Japanese outbound tourists to abroad increased from 13 million to 17 or 18 million in recent figures. So why the Nepal? It should be much popular, but actually it's not very much familiar to Japanese tourists. Before coming here, I had a question to my wife and my son. What is the image of Nepal? The answer is Himalaya, high mountain, roots of Buddhism. It's very simple. Actually, as Mr. Joshi explained, there are lots of or various charm points, or how should I say, the very unique, attractive points in Nepal. But for Japanese, standard Japanese, the image of Nepal is very stereotype. And especially the person who loves to trek or climb, it's a good place to come. But for other segments, still we cannot, or this is 18th time to come to Nepal for me. So if I say we, then I'm saying from Nepali side. We can't still attract them. So the World Air Sea Service, my company, is thinking about how to move or motivate Japanese people to come to Nepal. The one answer is to charm the elder, wealthy people, which coincides